Hey folks, today is Friday, September 13th, 2019. It's Friday the 13th. There's also going to be a full moon tonight. Did you know that?
Oh, very spooky.
My name is Jake Baldino. It's Friday, so we're going to talk about all the gaming news that has been going on this week. Let's get you caught up. Let's just jump in with this first story about Batman Arkham. I feel like every week or every month, there's a new thing popping up about the next Batman game, the next Rocksteady game. Like, what are they working on? What is Warner Brothers going to put out? So, the latest thing is from Warner Brothers Montreal. These are the guys that made Batman Arkham Origins. Now, previous rumors in the past have suggested that they're working on some sort of follow-up to Batman Arkham Origins, and it seems more likely that that's the case because members of the team sort of have been teasing it. So here's the deal. First and foremost, Roger Craig Smith, the fantastic voice actor for Batman in many places, including Batman Arkham Origins, tweeted this cryptically. Super bummed to not be working on anything that I can't tweet about right now because I can't violate an NDA for something that I assure you does not exist and isn't a video game. That's definitely sarcasm. I know sometimes over the internet it's hard to read that, but I read that as sarcasm. Also, Warner Brothers publisher had tweeted responding to him, following up with that, saying, "Your publicist thanks you and promises we'll let the count out of the bag reasonably soon." Also, one of the writers from Batman Arkham Origins said, even worse for me, I can't not tweet about the non-existent confidential project that we're not working on together. So more joking around, stuff like that, but they could be messing around, but this seems like a nice little subtle cryptic hint that we're going to be getting something soon, especially with the fact that the Warner Brothers publicist said reasonably soon. So that sounds like not tomorrow, but good. All right, good. We're getting something. We're getting somewhere. Now, the question is, like, is this actually going to be a Batman Arkham Origins 2 type of thing or something else entirely? Also, what are we going to hear about first? Is it going to be this or is it going to be a Rocksteady game? Whatever they're working on next. What is Warner Brothers actually going to put out soon? There's also that Harry Potter game that's been waiting in the wings. We're just going to have to wait and see, but I do hope that, like, now that we're starting to get little things from the horse's mouth, apparently, at least with Roger Craig Smith and the people working around him, could lead to something. I hope so. Fingers crossed. What do you guys want from this project? If it's not Rocksteady, if it's a Montreal studio or just some other Warner Brothers Batman project, what would you want out of this? Let's talk in the comments. But now we got to move on to our next big story, which is KFC. Let's talk about KFC for a second. I know everybody's been talking about Popeye's chicken, but KFC stole the scene by making a video game. Yes, there is a Steam listing for an upcoming game. I shit you not. It's called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure type of anime dating simulator, dream daddy simulator. Like, we've seen games like this before, and this is a real actual thing. It drops on Steam on September 24th, and like, look. They made Colonel Sanders a hot guy. As much as I want to be a comedian, I have nothing good to add to this at all other than that. Isn't this crazy? I also think it's so weird for a company to be spending money on something that is a very, very small category. It's a very specific type of game for a specific type of players and for a specific group of people on Twitter to make fun of it and laugh at it. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Will you be buying this game? Have you wishlisted it on Steam? What? Would you kiss Colonel Sanders? That's the real question. Also, speaking of like anime dating simulators, shout out to Rebecca, overall friend of the show, Discord mod, for this. We linked her in the description below if you want to check that out. I like this a lot. I don't think this can be topped. Also, in other news, just like a little ounce of negativity, but it's kind of funny. In case you missed it, EA has broken a new world record. They showed up in the Guinness World Records books for something pretty terrible. So as you probably remember, at the height of all the Battlefront 2 controversy with the loot boxes and stuff, they had initially made their first statement on Reddit with that community. And that infamous post that we all know now holds the record for the most downvoted Reddit comment in history. That is at 667,000 roughly downvotes. Damn, dude. This is honestly a refreshing news story just because, like, it is funny. And yeah, Whoops, guys. Way to go. Guinness World Records. You earned it. It's better than normal stories we hear where it's like, EA is voted worst company in America, where it's like, do you live here? There's so many worse companies. Still, it's funny. We wanted to point it out. At the very least, at least Battlefront 2 got a little better. Now, next up, a very interesting quote from Hideo Kojima himself. Now, you guys know I'm a big old fanboy, but we have a lot to talk about surrounding Death Stranding. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but first is a interview he recently did with the Financial Times talking about, Kojima Productions and the upcoming Death Stranding. And he said that he doesn't even know what the game is about. Now, let me quote him directly because he's trying to explain it. He says, Death Stranding, even now, I don't understand the game. Its worldview, gameplay, they are all new. My mission is to create a genre that does not currently exist and which takes everyone by surprise. There is naturally a risk in that. So that's what he means. Like when you see maybe our title or other titles out there where Hideo doesn't know what the game is, like he's trying to make a point in saying that. And I got to admit, like this makes me more excited. This interview, like him hearing about his approach to making the game and what he's setting out to do, making something actually genuinely different. I can't help but get excited for that. There's still the cynical side of my brain saying, I don't know, man. But hey, I don't know. It is a thing. Also, from Tokyo Game Show, we now have almost an hour of gameplay, kind of showing the main flow of the game, and it does seem very unique and different. There's not a ton of combat, which I actually find a little refreshing. He also posted a roughly 7-8 minute briefing trailer, which kind of sets up the plot of the game. I would consider that a spoiler. I looked at it and then I went, I don't need to watch this. But it is all linked in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Every news story we talk about will be down there. Also, in case it hasn't been on your radar, I know here in the office, we're a huge fan of it. Control, the newest game by Remedy. It's awesome, and Remedy has now come out and kind of outlined their roadmap for more content for the game, paid expansions, which I am absolutely down with playing. The first, unfortunately, is a PS4 timed exclusive, but the second one is AWE, Altered World Event, and it looks like it's alluding to something Alan Wake. That is clearly the Alan Wake art there. And something's up, and I can't wait to see what they're doing for that. They are also adding more stuff to the game, expansions to the oldest house, and also a photo mode, and that's a very pretty game, so I'm looking forward to jumping in that. Just wanted to put that on your radar. It kind of like flew by really quick this week. Also, I wonder how Control is doing, because on the August NPDs, the sales charts, it didn't come up. Like, it didn't crack the top 10, but who knows? Let's just see how this goes. I can't wait to play more. Also, in case you missed it, we're finally gonna have more like Sony stuff to talk about soon, because The Last of Us Part 2 is getting a big reveal event. One of the first people to tweet it out here was Jeff Keighley. It's a media event, September 24th. So by the end of the month, we're going to know a bit more about the game, and maybe even, hopefully, a release date is coming. But speaking of that, now, just so you guys know, since we were talking about like Jeff Keighley, Papa Jeff tweeting some things, the dates for the 2019 Game Awards have dropped, and those are going to be Thursday, December 12th. So that'll be probably a day where we get a couple new game reveals, something to look forward to a little further down the line. Time is moving very fast. I feel like the Game Awards and Game of the Year and all that stuff like just passed. And we're already almost there again. Wow. Also, in other news, Guy Fieri tweeted this yesterday. So now you have that. You're welcome. Now we're going to run down a bunch of things linked in the description below, just to catch up. Some trailers you may have missed. A lot of big stuff from Tokyo Game Show. The first thing is a trailer for Project Resistance. This is the new Resident Evil thing. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Now we got an actual official look at gameplay and what the game is. And Andrew, props to him, called it totally what it is. It's very much like an asymmetric multiplayer type of game. You play as survivors with individual traits. A person is working behind the scenes, planting traps, monsters, and also controlling those monsters to try and beat you guys out. Honestly, this game's getting a lot of hate. A lot of hate flying around out there. Actual day one Resident Evil fan here. It looks fine. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea at all. But new Resident Evil, with Resident Evil 7 and the 2 remake, Capcom has renewed energy. So the way I'm looking at it, if they're trying this idea again from Outbreak, but different, I'm willing to give it a shot. It seems like we're still going to be getting regular Resident Evil games too, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. We also linked down in the description, of course, the Death Stranding gameplay if you want to check out that stuff. If you don't care about spoilers, go for it. We also got some lengthy gameplay for Yakuza Like a Dragon. Holy shit. So there's a lot of stuff in this game that looks hilarious and awesome and amazing. We also got to look at the gameplay, which has now shifted. We've talked about this a little. It has shifted to kind of turn-based RPG style. The combat looks good, but I like the way Yakuza plays as a brawler. I still don't know how I feel, but I'm still excited for the game. Also, this one definitely flew under the radar for a lot of people, but where are my PC fans at? They are still making a System Shock 3, and this new trailer highlights a lot of cool shit. Enemy designs, environment designs look pretty great, and this game is still, up there for my most anticipated. Also, a new Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer dropped, revealing that Mark Hamill is doing a voice in it. I'll let you discover it for yourself. That looks great, but speaking of great visually, we also got a new trailer for Guilty Gear, and hot damn, the animation looks incredible. Also, there is a lengthy trailer out there that we'll link in the description for Nintendo's new thing. It's an exercise game. It's called Ring Fit Adventure. It works with Nintendo Switch. It's got a Wii Fit thing going on, but honestly, as someone who's trying to lose weight, this actually looks like a fun video game. And the way it works is you attach a Joy-Con to a thing, and then you attach the other Joy-Con to a thing, and that thing goes on your leg. And then you play a game, and the game on screen looks like a simple temple run type of thing, but I'm into it. This is kind of like a surprise thing coming out from Nintendo, but it drops October 18th, and I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Maybe we'll do a Before You Buy on that. That will not be a disaster at all. Two other small things, in case you missed it, Plague Tale Innocence is getting kind of like a free trial run on all the platforms, so you can download it and play the first chapter and then decide from there. I highly recommend it just because it's a really, really underrated game, and I think it's one of the year's bests. Definitely a sleeper hit. We've been blabbing about it for a while, so we wanted to share that news. Not sponsored or anything, but if we are talking about underrated, kind of odd games from Focus Home Interactive in particular, we also did a Before You Buy for Greedfall. I shared my thoughts on that. That'll be linked in the description below. It'll pop up at the end of the video as well. It's a very interesting game. It's not for everyone, but go check it out. Now, before we go, of course, we got to do that giveaway we do every single week. But record scratch for a second. We're changing the console giveaway. We got a special giveaway this week. This is, oh boy, this is heavy. We are giving away a Borderlands 3 Diamond Loot Chest Collector's Edition. We are giving some of these away. So, we are going to choose a winner like we normally do, but they're going to get a little bit of a surprise. So, you know how this works. There's a link in the description below. You click it to sign up. You enter once, and then you're entered for good. And then every single week, we go in to randomly choose one person to win a free console of their choice. This week, a big old special edition of Borderlands 3. The winner for this is going to be this person right here. Congratulations. Be sure to keep an eye on your inbox, your spam box, stuff like that, because we're going to be reaching out to you to send this thing to you. So, cool. I'm sure some of you are going to be playing that this weekend. I am. We are working on a Before You Buy. We're all gonna squad up. But that's it this week. So let's talk about the stuff down in the comments, man. Death Stranding. What are you thinking? Have you watched all that gameplay? I'd love to know your thoughts, because I still don't know what to think, other than be a Hideo Kojima fanboy who's still excited. Also, what do you think about everything going on with Tokyo Game Show? What was your favorite bit of news to come out from the show? What was your favorite trailer? Let's talk about that, whether or not you'll buy a KFC dating simulator game, and of course, what you think about the next Batman thing that is potentially being teased here. Let's talk about any of this stuff down in the comments. We'll be down there as much as possible, but if you got anything else for me, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Baldino. I'm getting better at answering my Instagram DMs, by the way. I noticed that's a thing. That's how the kids talk. So yeah, let's hang out. But if you enjoyed this video, first of all, thank you guys for coming and watching every Friday. Really appreciate it. It's our favorite thing to do here. But if you liked the video and learned something, clicking the like button is the best way you can help us out. We'd really appreciate that. But if you're new, it's also worth considering subscribing and hitting that notification bell, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me.